You may have heard the phrase, the first bite is with the eye, and that applies to many situations in life, including railways. When you walk into that station, you want it to look spectacular. And that's what these guys do here, the building department. Now, we've been following them for the last few months while they work on something rather special indeed, which I think you'll agree, Alresford would not be the same without. Welcome to In the Loop. Hello folks, and welcome to the Watercress line. Now, before we find out a little bit more about the magic that's been going on in this shed behind me, it's time for a quick fire look around the railway to see what's been happening since the last episode. Over here in the Carriage work's progressing well with the Mark 1 we've been following. They're currently working on the accessible area at this end. It's a slightly new area, so they've made a new door, made it nice and wide in the middle, and had to make some custom seats as well. But rest assured, it would all fit in beautifully. Now, the griddle has recently come in, and that's going to have some work done in the kitchen on the gas and extraction systems as well. We know that the guys here do excellent work when it comes to kitchens. I mean, look at the bell car. But at the moment, this is more routine maintenance rather than full overhaul. Over here in the boiler shop, work is continuing with 499's boiler. Previously at the top we were looking, they have the pilot holes getting ready to be drilled for the new stays. However, on the top of the boiler, which is obviously upside down at the moment, so on the lower side, some of the old ones are cracked. So you can see here, these have been drilled out and they're going to be replaced in the fullness of time. From 499 to 75079, so an S15 to a standard 4. The work on the inside is progressing well. This is actually the outer wrapper from the firebox. So a bit like 499, the inside of the firebox itself is actually copper, but the outside is steel. They've currently been doing some welding. You can see the welds along here. There's a bit of tidying up at the top, but all progressing very nicely indeed. Now, previously we've discussed the current plans to get some covered storage in for our diesels to help protect them from the elements and essentially make them last a bit longer. Think about paintwork and all that jazz. Now, we have had someone in to give us a rough quote for some covered storage to cover over the sidings and to get the diesels under cover, and it's looking to be about 30k at the moment as an approximate. So first of all, thank you so much to everyone who has already donated, and if you would like to further support the work we're doing here, then I'll put a link in the description below. Now, from Ropley, where we are, down towards Alresford, where we were for the last episode, where we chatted to Pat from the S&T department about the work they're doing in the signal box down there, or specifically the interlocking. If you go into the signal box now, granted, most of the work is actually underneath, so you're not going to see it, but you're going to see one thing, and that is the beautiful lever frame, which has now been freshly painted with some beautiful handwritten signs from every single lever plate. A real work of art and an absolute credit to Karina, who did that lovely bit of sign writing. Well, a lot happening here at the Watercress line. Now, for today's topic, we are here at Medstead with the building department, and they've been working on what's called a running in board, which essentially is a station sign. But there's a surprising amount that goes into it and a lot of woodwork. So, if you like that sort of thing, you're going to love this episode.
I'm Jeff Thorpe with the building group. We're responsible for all of the main structures on the Watercress line. We're based here at Medstead, although we work at all of the different stations. Well, the running in boards have been there for quite some time. They're now beyond a useful life and need to be completely replaced. What we've done is to start from scratch and make them again completely, and one for each side of the station at Alresford. The lettering on the old boards was still in good enough condition, so we were able to take that off, refurbish it, sand it down, take off all of the old paint, fill in the bits and pieces where there was a bit of rot, and then start again and then put them back onto the finished board once the painting is completed. Now we finished the capping beam and the main board. We need to get them fully painted, get them undercoated, primed and top coated so they're in a finished state. The next stage after that is to start putting the lettering on. It's a fairly precise job. It has to be in exactly the right place because somebody will notice it if it is not in the right place, apart from the fact that you've got to get the spelling right. Spacing is very critical. It's a time-consuming job because you've got to do it carefully, but it's just a case of measuring it. Once it's laid out correctly, that it does actually look correct, and then the letters are just screwed on, filled, and then just touched up with the paintwork. Final stage is to put the board back into place. It's a heavy board. It will take several of us to go down there and lift it into place. Just bolt it in, make sure we've got it the right way around, because the one at Alresford has got two sides. One side faces the car park and the other one faces the station. But then it's just, as I said, lift it in, bolt it on, job done.
So, there you are. Next time you arrive at Alresford, ready to travel on the train, and you look over and see this beautiful sign, that's what went in to making it. Now, the building department are lovely people, but there is a problem. Nothing wrong with the guys themselves, they're all wonderful people and very talented. The issue is there's just not that many of them. And that's because, well, buildings occasionally do get overlooked, but we wouldn't be where we are today without that amazing team. So, if you have been watching this and you think, actually I fancy learning a bit more woodwork, maybe it's a New Year's resolution, then do drop us an email at volunteer@watercressline.co.uk. And to be honest, even if you're not interested in buildings, if you want to volunteer anyway, do drop us an email. There's so many wonderful roles around here, many of which you may not think of first thing. But that's it from us this time, folks. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Jeff for chatting to us, and we'll see you next time.